She is a licensed professional teacher with over a decade of experience in the secondary and tertiary level, as well as a subject matter expert for digital learning technologies. A faculty member of the Far Eastern University, she was named manager for the Media and Information Literacy Advocacy Program. Currently, she serves as the head of the MIL Special Interest Group of the Southeast Asia Media Studies Association. She has been the language editing specialist for the Colegio de San Juan de Letran since 2016. She also leads the training and fundraising teams of nonprofit Make-A-Wish Foundation Philippines. She is currently serving as consultant capacity development specialist for the International Development Law Organization, an intergovernmental organization exclusively devoted to promoting the rule of law. She is a Microsoft Innovative Educator, a National Geographic Certified Educator, a Pioneer, Canva Certified Creative, and a Moodle site administrator. Ladies and gentlemen, to give a talk on empowering the Philippine justice sector, advancing digital learning with Moodle, let us all welcome Ms. Patricia Liana Ramo.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm a little blinded with all the lights. Allow me to just double check if my clicker is working. Do I point here? Okay, there. Alright. Hello. I'm Trixie, as been introduced, but I was joking with some of the Philippine members. Every time I see them, I am the face of a different institution. I have former colleagues from the from the Phoenix Publishing House at the back. Hello, everyone. I was also a consultant for the Intellectual Property Office of the Philippines, but now this afternoon I'll speak on behalf of the International Development Law Organization with the scope of as a consultant. So I'm just putting a disclaimer out there. I am a consultant. I do not claim to speak on behalf of the entire organization, but with my experience as a capacity development specialist, empowering the Philippine justice sector, advancing digital learning with Moodle. So to give a preface, who am I on behalf of IDLO? So the International Development Law Institute started as an NGO in 1983. Let me double check my notes. Okay, correct. So they started training and capacitating. So it's really education. It's really teaching adult learners. Okay? And with more and more countries joining this movement, it became IDLO. So it became more than just a simple institute. It became an organization. So in the year 1989, the Philippines Country Office joined as a founding member. So since 1989, IDLO has been very active in supporting the Philippines in terms of their overall intergovernmental organization devoted to promoting the rule of law. So currently, IDLO is committed to assisting Philippine justice sector institutions, namely the Department of Justice, the Anti-Money Laundering Council, the Office of the Ombudsman, and the Philippine Judicial Academy. Aligned also with the National Economic Development Authority's overall NEDA's plan of Philippine development up until the year 2028. So it's quite big in scope, but I hope that my brief, maybe like 30 minutes or so, talk would be a little more inspiring. So it's not content heavy, but I hope that you can take away some success stories from my few slides this afternoon. So I hope that you share also the small successes of these justice sector institutions. So let me just share some of these success stories with you. So we have a couple of logos here in front, quite big in the names. The program of IDLO in the Philippines is funded by the United States Department of State, International Narcotics and Law Enforcement. So our current programs are funded by US and again targeting these Philippine justice sector institutions. And I'll be lifting from, I think it was Matt who was asking the question, what problem are we trying to solve? Right? What problem were we trying to solve here? It's this one. How does IELO help improve the quality of justice delivery for the public? Because again, it doesn't seem like a direct connect. Like how is Moodle related into the overall justice sector institution? Capacity building. Even our state prosecutors have to learn. Even our regional trial court judges have to learn. Up until the Supreme Court, our justices, they have to be capacitated. And we're very happy to support some of these initiatives empowered by the Moodle platform. So I think these success stories can already be included in the presentations later on. So I'm pretty much sure that everyone had to go online during the pandemic. That was a great push for these justice sector institutions to utilize Moodle as their main platform of delivery. But aside from that, I'll just go back to this particular slide because I cannot quote all of these executive orders and whatnot, but let me just narrate it. Everyone had to shift online, but it's really part of the strategic plan of these institutions. For example, the Philippine Judicial Academy, they are the ones in charge of capacitating, as I said, our judges. So imagine, the regional trial court judge has to know how to utilize these things. But it's not just because of the pandemic, it was a directive from the High Court to address instructional challenges using four guiding principles. So they wanted a timely and fair justice delivery, transparency and accountability, equality and inclusivity, and four, technology adaptation. So very, very explicit that it was really part of the overall roadmap of the Philippine Judicial Academy. So they really wanted technology adaptation and they determined Moodle was the right tool for them. I was very happy to share with that. Another, an institution served by the PhiloWeb Technologies is the Office of the Ombudsman. Okay? The National Integrity Center, the training academy of the overall Office of the Ombudsman, is being supported by the PhiloWeb Technology. Again, it's not just whimsical that everyone has to go online because we have no choice because of the pandemic. Again, it's part of their overall roadmap. It's part of their strategic innovation and gender mainstreaming. The key areas are, number one, digitalization. Number two, comprehensive institutional capacity building. Number three, strategic collaboration. So again, these initiatives, these movements, they're part of the nationwide roadmap. So I hope that it excites the people in this room that you are part of the entire ecosystem in building national economic development, and the justice sector also takes part in this Moodle ecosystem of yours. Let me move forward. But we note that there were choke points encountered, great resistance. These chief justices, the regional trial court judges, our city and state prosecutors, they're knowledgeable, they're lawyers, they can argue with you, I know better. Yeah, sorry, that's not on record. but let's be honest, the way they learned as adults was very top-down, right? There was great resistance, not only in terms of technological limitations. There were questions of, is judge really accessing this in Moodle? Does judge even know his login credentials? Or is it the administrative assistant who is accessing these tools? So there were technological limitations and resistance also to overall workflow, right? I could just record myself talking 1 hour online and just upload it and done. That's it. Our subject matter experts can be as insistent as that. But IDLO, as in support of this movement, helps out your justice institutions through different phases, right? So IDLO has helped determine institutional needs assessment. Is Moodle the right fit for you? Up until the procurement process. So IDLO has also helped take a look at the market study, who is the best fit, and most of the time we have recommended, Nifila, because they are the only certified Moodle partner in the Philippines. And it continues. It's not enough that we procured or they have determined that Nifila is the best partner. So what now? What happens after? People have to be trained how to use these things, right? So again, it's an added layer of capacity development, not just in the legal subject expertise, but their technological know-how. They become site administrators as well. And we are spilling over into the monitoring and evaluation. How exactly are they using the data gleaned from all of these iterations, trainings online? What do they do with this information? How do they monitor and evaluate? So it's a continuing thing. It's really a continuing thing. I cannot show you the URLs because again, they're very exclusive to the captured covered agencies. But here, very, on brand. This is Moodle. Like first glance, you know. It's a DOJE Academy that's led by our Senior Deputy State Prosecutor Hazel Decena Valdez, the Anti-Money Laundering Council digital platform, headed by Deputy Director of the Financial Crimes and Investigation, Attorney Adrian Arpon. Again, very, very Moodle looking. The Philippine Judicial Academy, headed by Dean Seb. And the Office of Ombudsman, as I briefly mentioned a while ago, supported by Nifila Web Technologies. So Ombudsman Martires is the front-facing for this particular platform. With these, I'll just go back a few slides because I have only few. I told Mika I'm just gonna talk my way through this. How has Moodle helped empower the justice sector? First, we've broadened the reach. Right? Being online, they were able to conduct regional trainings remotely. Not just because there was a lack of funding. During the time of the pandemic, so many of their budgets were being cut. But it was really, again, part of the overall roadmap. The digitization, now they're moving to regionalization. Okay, so all of these trainings done in Manila, it doesn't have to be Manila-centric. Okay? Now they are able to reach as far-flung as they can. Okay? Second, how has Moodle helped empower the Philippine justice sector? Automation. If I can only describe with my body how excited they were when they discovered that they can automate certification generation. That's always the first question. Like, can we put a plug-in for releasing certificates through Moodle? You laugh at it because it's the most basic, but my goodness, how many man-hours are wasted because admin assistants have to send certificate of completion one by one to the training participants. And my gosh, really, custom certificate is, it saves them a lot. And not just like, it's the simplest automation. I hope that we laugh at this because it's not at the top of our heads. What's a success story for Moodle? How is it empowering the Philippine justice sector? Just generating certificates. Exactly, we laugh at it, but really, I could show you, but I can't. But maybe you can trust me. That's their number one plug-in request. How do we learn? How do we install it? And it saves them, again, a good number of man-hours that can now be dedicated back into prosecution. Now let's go after these criminals and let's prosecute them. Instead of, wait sir, I'll just double check my, did you attend? Can you send me? You know, there's no more back and forth. It's as easy as I can track. Did you complete these activities? Babayang, automatic certificate generation. Okay. Third, how does Moodle help empower the Philippine justice sector through digitization, as I said? Now, all of these printouts, can you imagine if they prepare a trial guide, a case guide? Boxes and boxes of evidence. You know, just to review, sorry Mother Earth, how many pages we have to print? Just so they can, you know, review what is the jurisprudence for this and that. Digitization. Just uploaded it online. Oh, I lost the Google Drive link. Oh, can you send it again? It's in Moodle. Right? Now the next question, oh, I forgot my login credentials. It's okay. But at least, you know, they can always just refer back to, it's in Moodle, go back to your course. You have that. You know, it's in this folder. Last way of Moodle helping empower the Philippine justice sector is with autonomy. Now, these subject matter experts are a little more accepting of putting knowledge checks in between, you know, having interactive sessions. They're very amazed with H5P because they cannot let go of their 1 hour long lectures. So their training specialists would just pause their lecture in the middle and just have a pop-up question through H5P, right? So there is a little more autonomy, there is acceptance of adult learning methodologies, and it's shifting. I can tell you, tides are shifting. Okay? It allows, again, more focused capacity development. It's not just, I'm gonna listen, okay, Justice blah 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 is going to talk about how she prosecuted money laundering cases for 4 hours. I'm just gonna skip that video. No, it goes beyond that now. The Special Projects Division, if I could, yeah, I think I could claim that. Our most recent training, supported by IDLO, was an interagency. So, since all of these institutions utilize Moodle as their platform, you know, users from the Department of Justice, your city and state prosecutors, have trainings with financial investigators for the Anti-Money Laundering Council. Again, it seems a little small, like how can I relate to that? So what if they train? We need that, you know why? Because the Philippines is currently graylisted by the Financial Task Force. Okay? If we do not prosecute enough money laundering cases, we will be blacklisted. And who is in the blacklist? Okay? We don't want to be included in the list of blacklist countries and be in the same level as North Korea. Okay? So it's very successful. We are excited. We should be excited that these interagency programs happen. And it works so seamlessly because of, it seems like I'm overselling. Again, it sounds so superficial, but it's empowered through Moodle. You know, it's so easy for them to just navigate the course in this platform because, okay, it's still Moodle. It's the same platform, it's the same interface. Now we have more prosecutors who can again go after these scammers and money launderers. It may seem a little too distant, like what do I care? But again, I'm sharing these smaller success stories so that we can have like a greater appreciation, okay, of how Moodle has helped empower the Philippine justice sector. And now I think I can skip to the other, oh, that's me. Training with the Supreme Court personnel. And, you know, Moodle also gives them the opportunity to have fun a little because their entire work has been online sexual exploitation of women and children, human trafficking. But being in Moodle, it gives them the space to be creative. They've created courses on how to make kwek-kwek and how to make an ensimada. We give them opportunities to apply instructional design principles, ADI, with, again, topics that interest them. Moodle gives them that platform to explore their creativity in adult learning methodology. Again, it sounds so, that's it. But that's it, that's the trick. You have to make them enjoy using the platform so that when they go back to their workstations, now I know how to do it. Okay? And IDLO, now I'm gonna try to be a little more serious again. At the root of our work as a training institute, remember when I said that IDLO used to be Ideal I? At the heart of it is really training. Okay? And it matches the value system of what Moodle espouses to be. Okay? We are constantly evaluating all of these capacity development programs, and it's not an afterthought. Again, we support all of these initiatives, and it's not just, okay, we can do it for you. No, we also have to ensure that it's aligned to our standards. Okay? And Moodle, with its very basic pre-test and post-test functions, it helps monitor. Okay, so that's the level 2 assessment of the Kirkpatrick model. James Kirkpatrick is the son of Donald Kirkpatrick, but if you've heard of that 4-level assessment, it's a model espoused by the United States, our funder, the US Department of State, International Narcotics Enforcement. So we incorporate all of these, and Moodle matches those kinds of values. Okay. Satisfaction rating, easily incorporated in Moodle. Learning assessments, easily incorporated in Moodle. And again, I hope that my silly short presentation gave you the overall glimpse. Again, I cannot speak on behalf of the senior deputy state prosecutor, like how many trainings have they really conducted. That is their own division achievement. But as part of IDLO, as a capacity development specialist, it has really changed. It's moved a lot and helped move forward the overall Philippine development plan. And I'm checking my watch. I said, sorry. That ends my afternoon's presentation. You can connect with me through LinkedIn if you're also interested for some capacity development initiatives and how I can assist your institution to move forward. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Patricia Liana Ramo. So thank you for sharing with us the value of Moodle in empowering the justice system and other agencies of our country. So you know the drill. The floor is open for your questions. Do we have any question from the audience? Yes, sir. From table number 9.
Good afternoon, I am Daniel from Villasis Law Center. I think we share the same market. So we offer a bar review program, so it's like created a virtual library for those who would like to pass the bar exams. Now, we'd like to ask some of your best practices. I know you have experience talking to the subject matter experts who simply want to conduct their lectures for a straight 10 hours and so on. So what are some of your best practices in terms of a workflow to create contents? And second, I observe, it was not mentioned in your presentation, if it is conducted by a hybrid or self-paced, how do you facilitate learning, considering that you have premium, premium participants in your project? How do you deliver it? Was it self-paced, or is it a combination of hybrid, then the Moodle platform serves as a backup? or a support system for their learning?
I think I'll answer the second one first. During the time of the pandemic, everyone had to go through online. So most of it had a bigger chunk of online components. But we do not really label it as blended or hybrid because that involves a level of computation. How many of hours are face-to-face or Zoom versus how many hours are pre-work. I'd rather frame it as a web-enhanced. So there is still I guess, an importance in the physical connection. I'm gonna insert some educational technology principles. So as a community of learning, you need to have a teacher presence. So it's really not enough that it's just a Zoom recording. And the premium audience much appreciates it when it's an actual person. Currently, most of the institutions deliver it as web-enhanced. So if it's a 5-day training, all of your prosecutors are out of their offices for 5 full days. 2 days are focused on pre-work. So they have reading materials, they have exercises in Moodle. The entire coverage of the training is already up there. But when they meet face-to-face for the actual in-person sessions, then they do the moot court, then they do the trial guides, then they do these hands-on exercises. So I think I would have a better appreciation if we call it out-of-space education or skills-based. So we enhance our learning, web-enhanced learning through utilizing Moodle as a repository of sorts, all of the pre-work, and some SCORM packages, H5P content are there. But again, the premium is based on what they learned from their Moodle exercises. Now they're ready to go to the face-to-face and real-world scenario learning. To answer the second one, how do we get the buy-in of those who are more seasoned and deeply rooted in their positions already? Our strategy was to look for the most amiable person. Like, out of all of these seasoned people, you will really find someone that you can win over. And you can use that to your advantage. So you don't need to have everyone agree, okay, everyone, let's just shift online, let's come to your lecture. That's not gonna happen. And you're just gonna fight over and over because they tried. It ended up that Justice Blanc said, no, I can talk about it. No, Justice, we're only allotting 1 hour for you. You should talk for 3 hours. And you can't tell her no because she's a Supreme Court Justice, right? So their strategy was they looked for who is at the very least interested, right? And walk them through the entire process of state prosecutor. Maybe we could try learning activity in between. Maybe give a few suggestions and have that as a model implementation. And their strategy was we play into their ego. And you're saying, see, she was able to do it, right? Now, Justice, maybe we could re-record you with full production and lights. And then the strategy is the full recording, they're gonna cut it into multiple parts. You do your own magic behind the work, but you play into their ego and say, now they rehash their entire training program into something new. Maybe you want to, explore that. So try to get the buy-in of just one. And most of the time it works. Because again, you're playing with each other's food. They did something better. I want to do that too.
And apologies, one last
Go ahead.
question. The Supreme Court has provided some rules in terms of delivery of content, particularly the MCL, which require if you conduct trainings online, you have to go to screenshot randomly. So may I know some plugins that you inject, or if ever did you consult and tell you to have some of your trainings in the idea as credited for MCL?
Currently in the process of being accredited actually by MCLE, they're reviewing the online, the web-enhanced portions, and they're vetting some of these components if it covers X number of hours actually. But there is a little doubt still if the lawyer who went through the training is actually the person who went through the course, right? There's no assurance. So it's still like very small in comparison to the number of total hours. But MCLE is actually very positive in this shift because now it involves the entire justice sector. They're like realizing that, oh, everyone else is using it. We have to recognize that, you know, it's really there and it's not going away anytime soon.
Can you spell the data plug-in for monitoring the schedules or the activities?
I cannot.
It's alright.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Thank you. That's all.
Thanks.
All right, thank you very much. Any other question? There being none, once again, I'd like to invite the president of Nifilo of Technology Incorporated, Ms. Cheryl Gavillerman, to please join me on stage to hand over the certificate of appreciation to our speaker. And this reads, Moodlemoot Philippines 2024 presents the certificate of appreciation to Ms. Patricia Liana Ramo in grateful recognition for sharing her invaluable knowledge and experience to the participants of the Moodlemoot Philippines 2024. So once again, thank you very much, ma'am. A round of applause, please, for Ms. Patricia Liana Ramo. Thank you. So at this juncture,